Hello everyone and welcome to a new Empires and Puzzles video. As requested, today we will be doing a rundown of my base setup. I will try to explain when and why I use certain buildings and give you some general advice. This video, just as a heads up, is mostly aimed at the middle tier or beginner players, so not really at the veteran players, but there might be some useful info for you guys here as well. Starting off, let's talk about the Stronghold. As of now, level 25 is the maximum level, although I believe that they mentioned they want to expand these levels and go even higher, but as of now it's not possible. So the Stronghold level determines how many slots you have available to build upon, basically how big your castle is. As you upgrade the Stronghold, you will gain more and more slots and thus more buildings, so it is quite important to try and get your Stronghold to a higher level when possible. So why are they popping up now? My apologies. The Stronghold level also determines the maximum level to which that you can upgrade other buildings. So yeah, Stronghold, quite important to level. Next up, here we have the museum. It's been recently added to the Stronghold. It's interesting if you like reading the stories. I honestly don't care about that part of the game. And here you can see the heroes that you have or had at some point, and once you finish leveling them up, you get a reward, a small reward in gems. Okay, so moving on, we will go from left to right, analyzing the base. First up, we have the Mystic Tower. I cannot click on it, but it's here where it says the next Mystic Vision is in 20 minutes, 19 and a half. So the Mystic Tower is actually really important, and you absolutely must, or should I say you definitely should exploit it as much as possible, because it can give you various loot, and it's really profitable. So just today or yesterday I got an alpha ether from watching an ad. So if you can, try to time it as best as possible to watch as many ads. I'm not encouraging you to watch ads because of the ads, but it is really beneficial for you as a player, especially if you are really cheap to play like me, or even free to play, but it honestly is really a good thing to do, even for pay to play players. Anyways, at this rate, currently we can watch 3 ads every 2 hours, which is crazy. When I started playing, I think it was 1 ad every 16 hours. Just spam it as much as you can. Next up, since this part is kind of cluttered with the deals, so we have the Goblin Balloon. Honestly, I never buy it. I bought it once when it was new just to see what it is. I got some 4-star Ascension material. In my honest opinion, that's the only time that you should consider. So if you get in your first, second, or maybe even third slot, you get something that you really need, like a 4-star Ascension material that you really need. Honestly, I'm doing pretty well with them at the moment. I'm only lacking kind of in darts, so even if I get them, I would not take the Goblin Balloon, and I haven't bought it in a really long time. So, but like I said, I'm cheap to play, and I'm trying to be as much cheap to play or even free to play as of lately. So it depends on your goals, but I would avoid it. Next up, Essential Delivery Cart. Usually I've never bought it because it can be useful, but it's just not for me, and I find it to be expensive. But if you're trying to level up fast, then yeah, it can be a good deal, I guess. Next up, we have usually the Phoenix and the Dragon. They are sitting here. I'll try to be brief with them. Phoenix, never bought it, never even read it. I don't believe it's worth it. The Dragon Pet, okay, so this is, I believe, good advice for beginner players, cheap to play. The Dragon Pet can be really good. It's the VIP pass actually, and especially if you can buy it when there's a deal. So every so often there's this deal that you get it for even cheaper and get some bonus the gems, so I believe that to be really useful, and you get another builder which is extremely useful in early levels. So that's my opinion. Next up, I'll just briefly touch up on the Path of Valor and Path of Giants. In my opinion, I would buy Path of Valor occasionally, especially if I'm free to play and in early stages of development. So a new player, I think it's quite worth it. As of lately, I bought it once in this year, I think, when both the emblems and the 4-star material that was offered was something that I really needed. So yeah, it's a good bang for your buck if you take everything into consideration, but you know, I don't need all of these things, for example, so it's hard to determine the worth, but I think it's definitely more worth it for beginners. Now let's move on to the base itself. Starting off, we have food and iron storages. I keep them here in my bottom left corner. So basically, eventually you want to upgrade them as much as possible according to your needs. I don't put high priority on this because you can store both food and iron in certain places, but it's kind of hard to get there, and it takes some skill to balance out. But essentially, you get 2 normal and 3 advanced iron storages, as you can see here. The maximum capacity is 2,751K iron, and it's more important early on when this limits your ability to upgrade buildings, because you need a certain amount of iron to level up, let's say, your stronghold, which is important. So you should proceed slowly and level it up when you find the need. Next up, we have advanced food storages. I have 1 food storage and 3 advanced food storages here. So that's the maximum, I believe, for a maximum capacity of 3,318K food. They're more important later for feeding units and troops. So, like I said, I would not prioritize them. Next up, we have our houses over here. I have 1 advanced house and 3 normal houses. I believe this is the maximum. We can collect, so the advanced house actually generates recruits. Oops, not that, sorry. As you can see, 5 per hour, storage capacity, production storage capacity, so it's good to have. It's not high priority in my opinion. Recruits also, they usually don't limit you as much because you can store recruits in other buildings as well as food and iron, so I do not prioritize them. Next up, forges. I have 3 forges, level 20. To be honest, that's overkill. I hardly ever use them. I had them because I was building time stops, tornadoes, miracle scrolls, and super mana potions at some point, and dragon attacks really often, so I needed multiple, but I don't believe that it is worth the investment because, as you can see now, I have a ton of items which I honestly rarely use. Honestly, I use the minor mana potion and the antidotes the most, and probably axe attack next, because I have no need for the others. So, for example, we have bomb attack, which does the same thing but does a bit more damage. However, material-wise, these materials are harder to find. So I spam bomb attacks on titans and such if I'm not going all out with more expensive items. And honestly, miracle scrolls, they're not so miraculous anymore. I don't really use them. Tornadoes are really good, so I really do prioritize them still. That's why that's the only thing I probably still build apart from the small mana potions, antidotes, and other mana potions at some times. So yeah, the forge is low priority in my opinion. 1 forge level 20 is fine, and then I would probably keep it at level here, the mana potion. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be probably my my idea. So but the max number of forges is 4, and I actually turned one of my forges, I cannot check this, but into one of my buildings or training camps. I'm not sure, but I would advise this because you really don't need 4 forges, and to be honest, even these 3 usually I'm not using them at all. Next up we have farms. They produce food. We have 5 normal and 3 advanced farms, so 3 normal here, 3 normal here to the right, and 2 normal here. I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I use these, I convert them when I need other buildings, so that's something to keep in mind if you're not building other buildings. So if your builder is available, you can just keep your farms open, and you can just convert them when needed. So I'll show you this. I can convert it to barracks, and then now I cannot convert this one until the builder is finished, so I'll just wait for 10 seconds, and I'm not limited by this. But if, for example, you're upgrading another building and you want to convert it, it's not possible unless you have 2 builders. So that's something to keep in mind if you're gonna do this strategy. But I think it's a good way to optimize and get as much food as possible. The max number of farms is actually 9, but I'm not sure which building I turned. I so I used the farm to make one of these buildings. I don't know, maybe training camp or Alchemy or I think Alchemy or Hero Academy. I'm not sure. So I'm pretty sure. I would say that one of these is a forge and another one is a farm. If possible, I would turn actually a mine now, because I don't need the mines. However, I know that the farm that I used is a lower level, so that's just something you have to go and see. But the farms are really important because the food is a key resource here, especially late game. But it can be stored up. So production is great, it is really important. So more important than storage. Storage you can kind of get around. Then we have 2 advanced mines and 2 normal mines. That's the maximum. For me, they are usually always full. The iron that they produce is usually just not obtainable. I don't need it. I have way too much iron, and I believe that this is something that happens to many veteran players in the late game, let's say. So yeah, I would only level them up to the bare minimum that you need, honestly. I know that in the beginning they are quite useful since you're building your base and you need a lot of iron, but later on they will just sit here useless, most likely. That's at least my experience. Next up we have the training camps. So we have 4 training camps here. This one is level 20 and the other 3 are level 11. I would honestly recommend this setup. Maybe you can go for 2 level 11s and 2 level 20s. It depends like at what stage of the game you're in, how much money you are willing to spend. Like if you're completely free to play, then maybe yes, maybe 2 level 20s would be best, so that you get better chances of 5 stars. But keep in mind that these 5 stars will be obsolete really quickly, so I would probably just focus on good 4 stars and keep 1 level 20 training camp and hope for some 5 stars elsewhere in some portals. As for this, the training camps are really important for food and troop storage. So I'm using level 20 here. It has the odds of getting, you can get a 3 star, 3 star, 4 star or 5 star hero here. And then you can just, with the tap of a button, see at the top how much food I'm getting and how many recruits. So that's an easy way to, probably the easiest way to store food and recruits is here in the training camp. why I'm running, I'm running in these ones. It's level 11. It's extra low cost, so basically quite a cheap way of producing feeder troops. You don't get too many of them, but they don't. Let me just show you what is needed. It only takes 1,000 food and 2 recruits, which is really cheap, and it takes 2 hours for 1 recruit. It can be 1 star or 2 star. I prefer this. It's really cost effective, and it does not use up any of the materials. I'm usually low on some of the materials, as I will let you know here. Okay, another TC11. So TC11, that's short for Training Camp 11, Training Camp 11, TC20. And here I run 1 color. At the moment I'm running purple. Usually, so this depends and varies from player to player, but I'm usually really short on practice swords. That's why I cannot afford to run more than 1 colored training camp. And here you have Holy, Dark, Nature, Ice and Fire. Sometimes I would run 2 at a time of the same color, so it would be TC11, TC20, and let's say 2 TC7s. Which one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be 2. That would be 2 greens. You need to honestly balance this out around your materials, your resources, but it's up to you. I recommend using these training camps, but other noteworthy training camps would be TC2. It's a quick 30-minute training that rewards a 1 star or 2 star hero. Primary use for adventurers kit. So I know that many people use this training camp a lot, and some of them run it constantly. The materials that I have are limited and I cannot do it. Next up, TC4. It's the first level that does not require anything other than food, recruits and time. So it can be decent, but I think if you get the chance to go to level 11, it's much better. Then TC11, as I said, so next up we have these colored ones, colored 1 and 2 stars, so you run them as you need them. Then TC11 is here. TC11, even lower food and recruit requirements than TC4 with greater reward. So if you can, always do this. TC12, rare heroes. First guaranteed training of 3-star heroes. In my opinion, maybe it can be useful in early game, like as a real beginner. I would definitely not advise it. Definitely. Next, at this point of the game, you can get better 3-star heroes from any tokens, so I don't think this is worth it. Maybe in some situations, if it matches your needs, like if you have a lot of materials, go for it, use them as a feeder, but I don't think it's worth it most of the time. Then TC13, it's a guaranteed training of 3-star heroes and potential to receive 4-star heroes. It's only 5% chance, so I would not recommend. It's the same thing as TC12. Maybe it can be useful, I would not recommend. Next up, these advanced Fire, Ice, Nature, Dark and Holy. Also, I don't think they are cost effective. The next noteworthy one is TC11. It's a quick, food expensive way to create 1-star heroes for leveling, but it requires rugged cloths. So, not for me because of my limitations. It can be really useful for some, but you have to keep in mind that you need a lot of food, and since food is a scarce resource, at least for me, I think for many players in the late game, I don't think it's the play. Next up, I want to cover the Hero Academy. So for me, the Hero Academy is almost always running. There are some noteworthy levels here, maybe level 1, and you can spam it to get a bunch of 1-star common heroes. But it does take 2 practice swords, 2 training manuals, but it only takes 1 minute. For me, because of this, I'm limited by my resources, by the materials. I absolutely cannot use this. However, level 3, so HA3, Hero Academy 3, would be the uncommon heroes. It trains uncommon heroes, and it only takes 1 minute. It's a guaranteed 2-star hero, but it does take 3 strong rope for this to work. So for me, I love using this. I used it a lot, especially when I was limited by long swords. It helped me out a lot. However, now I'm now I'm short on strong rope, so I cannot use it anymore. So next up, I will mention Hero Academy 6. Oh, I guess instead of Hero Academy 3, I'm using Hero Academy 7, so I'll mention it briefly here. It's for the trainer heroes. If you're not limited by your supplies, by ham, recruits, or materials, it can be a good way to like speed up your leveling. You can even get a 4-star trainer hero from this, but it's quite rare. I do not know the exact odds. I believe it to be a decent place to spend your materials and resources. However, it takes 5 wooden shields, 5 leather armors, and 5 sharpening stones. So that can be a limitation for some people. Let's get back to Hero Academy 6. It is a great way to store iron, because if you can see, I have it running for the next 70 days. It's storing iron and recruits, 150 recruits, 151k iron. This is the only place that I find usable for iron storage. However, I usually don't need it, so I don't know, I just kind of feel bad for my iron not going, just for it to go to waste, so I want to use it. And you know, since troops are usually hard to get, I think this is a good way to constantly produce troops in order to upgrade them. If you are cheap to play or free to play, it's a really good, in my opinion, to invest in troops. And this is the way that you can invest your time and resources as opposed to money. So that's why I have this running constantly. And still I get comments on my troops, but it's like I'm maxed out. I don't want to spend money on it. So this is what I do. And amongst other things that I will mention a bit later, actually it's just saving up the epic troop tokens for when there's a summoning event, you know, because you get the better odds at 4 stars. So like the Magic Tower or Styx Tower or even Ninja Tower. However, I find the magic troops to be most reliable and most universally used. I do have all of them in all colors by this point, I believe, so that's nice to have. Anyways, I got off topic. So as you can see here, it is really useful, but it has a big limitation in the materials. 5 scabbards, 5 tall boots. I cannot run this usually too much because of it. For me, these materials are always missing. Moving on, there's Hero Academy 7, like I said, trainer heroes. Another notable one can be Hero Academy 8, train epic heroes. It can be useful for low-level players, but it costs 3 battle manuals, 3 times tall boots, 3 chainmail shirts, 3 scabbards, and it takes 2 days and 12 hours. So the heroes that you can get here are 4-star Season 1 heroes, which is not good. But you can get some other heroes, and they are Peters, Guardian Jackal, Gretel, Sir Lancelot, Cheshire Cat. In my honest opinion, this is maybe worth it for low-level players in order to get Guardian Jackal. He's the very fast elemental defense down for yellows. That's just awesome to have. If you do not have this ability, it might be worth investing into this hero, but once you get it, you probably don't need to run this anymore, Peters is a solid hero, quite good in my opinion for how old he is. Gretel can be okay, Lancelot and Cheshire Cat have their uses as well, but I would not recommend this, except for maybe running it until you get Guardian Jackal, unless you have a different elemental defense down hero. Next up, Hero Academy 10 is the same, but probably mostly for free-to-play players. I believe that you're better off saving these heroes for Soul Exchange, because most of the heroes that you can get here, so it's retraining your legendary heroes. Sorry, I did not specify. You take your legendary heroes and it gives you a different one. I did manage to get Mr. Pengy here, so that's amazing, but most of the heroes that you get here will be just the Season 1 heroes, and you will just be mad, because you have to wait for 1 week and spend a lot of time and resources just to get another Season 1 5-star hero. It can be beneficial, but it's getting quite outdated as of now, so it's debatable. If you're free to play, I would probably run it, especially if you have multiple Season 1 5 stars on level that you're not going to use. It's probably worth it, but I found that many heroes that are here that are not Season 1 heroes are also old, and I don't know, I got Queen of Hearts. For me, at my level of play, she's kind of useless, but she can be quite good for a beginner, so it's hard for me to judge. Anyways, that's enough about the Hero Academy. Next up, there's the Alchemy. It's always running for me. The Alka shards here are quite useful. You can use them to get essential materials, emblems, battle items. I usually always use it for emblems, unless I get 4 stars on epic essential material. Usually, I always take them, no matter if I have many of them or not. You get them once you combine 1000 Alka shards here. I will try to briefly go over this, because it really depends on your needs. For me, I did research most of them, but I hardly ever use any of them. At level 5, I use this to hopefully make long swords, but it was the backpack this time. So the way that I manipulate this in my favor is I take the materials that I have the most, because you can see 16k of these two. I don't know even what their name is. So I put at least one of each, and then it makes sure, so this way I make sure that I either get a long sword or the backpack. So for example, I could do this, and then I will know that I will guarantee myself a long sword. However, I believe that this is a better strategy, so it's 50-50 if I get the long sword or the backpack, because I used to be really deficient in backpacks as well. That's my trick. That's what I'm always running. It gives a small number of Alka shards, but it does add up. You can refresh it quickly. Next up, the only thing that I use here is, oh wait, I do use this, but it's kind of like random. I'm using it to give me strong rope, because I have only 366 of it. It's fine, and this is how I place my items, so I can either get the strong rope or this rock that's tied up. I don't know what its name is, so you can transmute. And here's the biggest thing: epic crafting material, level 17. It's the best thing that you can use to store your food, because it's 627k food, and as you can see, I have 94 days in it, so yeah, that's a lot. To be honest, it's not even too much if you compare it to some other people, but it's a really good thing, and it's quick and easy to, as you can see, just get a lot of food out of it. And for early game and beginners, it can be useful to get these orichalcum nuggets. So it's the one on the right. For me, it was deficient for quite a long time, and it was a limiting factor because many items are being built out of it. Anyways, you can use, I usually run these two always, so 5 and 17. You can run one more if you wish. Honestly, I do not think that using level 19 and 20 is worth it, because it costs gems, and I'm against that way of, I don't know, playing. I think it's forcing you to spend money, or at least making you more inclined. So I did it for some time, and yeah, I do not like it, but of course you can do whatever you want. Next up, we can go to the Hunter's Lodge right here. Whoops, we don't want to convert. Basically, for me, it's usually not running. I prefer to have a farm here so that I can get as much food as possible. Harpoons, of course, are really important, especially at earlier levels. Usually in good alliances, you don't even have to worry about the number of harpoons that you spend. Our alliance prefers just going to the first threshold. It's the most cost-effective one. So apart from against the Titans, I don't use it. All of the other items, honestly, I don't use. Hurricanes are really OP. I love them. They're quite useful. So I would get your Alchemy Lab to level 17 definitely, and probably level 18, because Scrolls of Alteration are awesome. They're really strong for Titans, Mythic Titans. They're the best. They're absolutely needed for those high scores, as far as I know, unless there's a new strategy. But Hurricanes are also really good for Titans, but also for any other manner of play. Next up, okay, we can turn it back into a farm to give me more food. Next up, we have the Barracks. I never have it up, honestly. So here you can track your troops, you can level them up. Yeah, for me, it's always a farm. Basically, I level my troops in one go after saving enough epic troop tokens, as I've mentioned before, for a magic or maybe Styx tower, because there you have better odds of getting 4 stars. And you can even check your troops in the inventory here in the upper left corner, so you really don't need your barracks up most of the time. And yeah, as general advice at the moment, I would say that you should not be leveling your troops until we get an update for the level 5 troops, the legendary troops, so because they are making some changes, and it will probably be more efficient, cost efficient, both for resources and EXP, to just wait and see if they make the changes that they proposed, and then you will get more bang for your buck if you hold your troops for now. Another thing to note, I have a total of 8 farms. You might be able to have 9, so I'm not sure which buildings these are. As I said before, it's probably one farm and one forge. I would change it now maybe for a mine, but I don't want to stop this since I have a lot of stuff stocked up. I couldn't even change my alchemy because of this, so the same goes for the Hero Academy. And one thing I forgot about the Hero Academy, here you can adjust the raid formations. To me, this is useless. Raids are kind of pointless. At my level, you just need to get to the Diamond Arena or whatever. But I would say that the reverse is the best, the strongest formation. The double is probably second, and then maybe on standard, then reverse double. But to be honest, I don't care about this too much. I do not care about my defense, honestly, since I'm always in the Diamond Arena regardless. I think it's Diamond Arena. Next up, last but not least, we have the Watchtower here in the right corner or the right side. The Watchtower level determines how much food and iron it may potentially produce. So it does produce, as you can see, these numbers just changed, both iron and food. The Watchtower also facilitates the raiding of other players, so you can go to get revenge on someone or whatever. Only food and iron that is stored within the Watchtower itself at the time of a raid may be at risk of being removed, so they can steal your resources. It's basically good to collect the resources whenever you can. There is a collect in 17.5 minutes sign here. And that is pretty much it that you need to know. For me, it's a high priority building. When you're a beginner, you should look to level it up fast. It will grant you more resources, so you can level up other buildings even faster. And that would be my advice. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to ask. I think that I covered most of it to some extent, and that would be all for today. I hope that you enjoyed it and found the video useful. If you want, you can leave a like, comment, and or subscribe, maybe even consider becoming a member, but no pressure. I appreciate you watching and staying until the end. So thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next video.